Welcome, welcome, welcome.
We've got a lizard on the run.
We've got our parrots with us today.
And
Uh,
this guy.
Scrambling, or I said parrots, but I meant to say dragon. Exotic pet episode.
All right, Terry.
Jackie, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I am this lizard's mother.
First and foremost.
Yes, and I'm trying to wrangle him. He's doing just fine. I'm Jackie. My band is Reverend Mother. I play guitar and I sing in the band. This is our mascot, Terry. All right, Terry, you can sit down. Yeah, we recorded 2 full albums and 2 EPs, and we're hoping to play a couple shows in June.
Yay. And where are these shows, do you think?
So I moved to Georgia about a year ago, and so I think the band is gonna come down from New York, and I think we're gonna try and do Atlanta, Chattanooga, or Nashville, Muscle Shoals, and New Orleans.
Very awesome. And that's all
Yeah,
in June?
yeah.
Ooh.
I think at the end of June is what we're
Oh, keep me in the loop because that sounds like a super fun destination concert. I'd love to go down south in June and
Yeah.
see some cool sludgy doom metal with female vocals. So, when did you first realize that you loved rock/metal music and you wanted to create more of it?
I think when I was in like middle school, so figure like 11, 12, 13 years old, I just remember like, when you used to burn CDs with whatever you wanted on them.
Mhm.
So I remember I used to just like burn a lot of really heavy music onto CDs. Like I put a lot of Black Sabbath on there. I remember one of my friends made me a copy of a CKY CD. And I used to listen to all this really heavy music. And at the time I was playing classical violin. Like I started doing that when I was 4 years old.
Hmm.
So I was pretty heavy studying classical violin at the time, like practicing a couple hours a day, working really hard at it. This is going to be a constant me catching him running down my back.
Fine. Who cares?
But actually, Terry is named after Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath. But
Oh,
so I was pretty heavy into classical music as far as like studying it, really interested in the heavy music. And I remember I always really wanted to play in a band. Um, and I bought a guitar, and I kind of was just so busy studying violin that I just didn't feel like I also had the time to learn another instrument. So the guitar never really took off at that point, and it wasn't until I was like in my 20s that I really actually got to live out my dream of playing in a band.
oh yeah, but that's like not a late start at all. Like Tina Turner didn't
No.
get her first Grammy till she was 44. Debbie Harry of Blondie didn't start working with Blondie until she was 31. Lorraine Lewis, who sings for Vixen, didn't start until she was 30. Uh, Same thing for Pat Benatar started later. Yeah, it's like oh, and Cyndi Lauper also 31 was when she first released music. So yeah,
Yeah, and also, if you're familiar with the band Dead Moon, and they were a married couple, but I think they started their band after they had children. They were like in their 40s.
I'm gonna
So
check them out.
yeah, they're awesome.
Oh, and then also classical violin. So, on a previous episode, one of the rock goddesses brought up that she was kind of like battling this message from the patriarchy about how when women are in bands, they're only ever the vocalist. And I started thinking about it and I was like, I don't think I've had a rock goddess on the series who wasn't a multi-instrumentalist. I think the
Yeah,
opposite is true. I think every time a girl is in a band, she does more than one thing. She could be the illustrator for this album, she could be playing more than one instrument, she could be in the lead and then also the lyricist or whatever, doing the layout
yeah,
design. So that's a lie. But
yeah.
um so we're just here to tell the truth. Um
A
if
lot
you
of people just assume that I'm the singer in my band because I am, but I
yeah.
also play guitar and I'm pretty proud of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
exactly. So I'm excited to have I didn't even know that like weird patriarchal myth was out there, but I'm excited to bust it up. So, if your music were a movie soundtrack, what would the movie be about? Escape with a
Devin just
Dragon?
jumped off my chair and did a really big jump. I'm proud of him. I have to tell him I'm proud of him every time he makes a move. All right, so you're free to go, baby. Thank you. I don't know. I could tell you what colors it would be.
Okay.
It would be dark. It would definitely be recorded on film. It would be pretty analog. It might even be a silent film.
Whoa.
Um,
With
yeah.
metal soundtrack.
Like, well, no words. Like, there's my music, but there's like
Okay.
no talking. Um, I think, yeah. I don't know. I think there would be a lot of happiness and there would be a lot of sadness, and it would just kind of be like it wouldn't be one of those movies that's so heady that you don't understand what happened, but it would definitely have to be thought provoking.
Cool. Have you ever seen a French animated movie called The Triplets of Belleville?
No. Good
That
job.
that sounds like what you're describing. It's like both sort of heavy, but it's also comical, and it's all music with almost no spoken word in it at all.
That's
Um,
what this would be probably.
yeah, I'll make sure to text it to you after the episode so that you can check it out. So, if you could collect any three vinyl records of all time, what would you like to have?
Um, so I interpret this because that's really hard to choose. I had to pick him up and see if he was okay.
Mhm.
I'm interpreting this as like what three records do I want somebody to buy me that I don't already have, if that's
Right.
okay.
Yes.
I
Tidings from
really
Thomas.
I really want Give Me Back My Bullets by Skinner. I don't have that one. And Leonard Skinner is like one of my favorite bands. And I really want there's this Towns Van Zant record that's like $200 online. I don't know why it's so expensive, but I have a CD in my car. It's high, low, and in between. Um, and I also have a CD in my car, but would really like the that self-titled Godsmack album, the very first one, with the girl with the lip ring on the front. I just love that record so much. So yeah, this is like if somebody wants to go buy me a record, like this is what you should buy me. This is what I
I
don't have.
wonder if did like Godsmack really release that on vinyl, or is this like the fantasy option?
I do not know, but I am going to just go with whatever gets it in my hands.
I love it. So everyone that's going to a Reverend Mother show, make sure that you show up with one of those three vinyl. Um, and also it's amazing that like your car has a CD player.
Yeah.
I like intentionally like the last couple cars that I had, I intentionally bought cars with tape deck players.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've ever seen those tape deck players that have like the cord that comes out so you can plug it in your phone.
Yes, I had a car from 2000, like maybe 10 years ago, and I had one of those things where you put it in the tape cassette or whatever, the tape player, and then the cord comes out and you plug it into your phone because I think, yeah, yeah, I had that. Now I have an FM transmitter, but I actually really just listen to radios and CDs.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's honestly like listening to music in the car. I guess that if you're in your car a lot, then you're probably like not in a city or yeah, that's really good.
Right.
I used to live on a farm and I had to like drive really far to get anywhere, but it was like the best time to like listen to music.
Yeah. I do. I mean, I drive now. There's like not really public transportation where I live, and so like everything's driving pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of pleasant. I do miss that. I miss that about being out in the country.
Yeah.
Um, so if you could play a world tour with any three bands alive today, who would you choose? And is there any city you'd like to play most of all?
Okay, as far as city, there's just so many cities in the world I like can't even narrow it to one. All of them. And I feel like uh my perspective now on like making music and playing music and playing shows and touring and stuff is like I just want to have fun with my friends. So I would pick my friends' bands. I have a couple very close friends that I really love their bands. One of them is Old Lady, another one is Ma'am, which actually, and Van Vreeland, all three of them. Ma'am is predominantly led by a female vocalist and guitarist. Same with Van Vreeland. And then an Old Lady, they switch off between it's a brother and a sister and their drummer to sing some songs. So you actually have three different singers, three different songwriters, one of which is,
Hmm.
in my opinion, Kayla Rocker is better than Dolly Parton. I don't care who's offended by that, even Dolly herself.
She probably
But
she's like
she's her songwriting is like you just can't even believe that someone wrote this on like this side of the 19 like 50s. But um so I would want to go on tour with them because I think it's just you want to have fun with your friends.
yeah,
I
the
don't like to
hands matter.
yeah, I want to if I'm going to travel the world, if it's for music or if it's for fun, which I guess same thing. If it's for a tour or if it's just for leisure, I want to do it with my friends, and there are three of the bands that I also just happen to respect the most that are making music right now. So
Very cool. I'm excited to check
yeah,
them out. I don't know those 3 bands, so I will be bugging you. Maybe I can get
yeah,
mm,
and two of them play in Philly sometimes.
oh,
Yeah.
we'll check this out. Looking back on everything, what is a big decision you made that turned out to be a great choice?
So I was like, laughing about this because it's pretty cheesy, but the biggest decision I've ever made is marrying my husband. And it was the best choice I've ever made. And it's actually funny because it does also have an angle related to music, because I met him at an old lady show.
Oh,
Yeah, so he was their friend, I was their friend, and we just happened to meet each other at a show where Old Lady was playing. And it's just been a lot of dancing and fun since then. So definitely the biggest decision I've ever made, definitely the best decision I've ever made. And um, being a musician, being a creative, which he is too. There's nothing better than having a really solid support system and someone who thinks that everything you make is amazing. That helps. And sometimes we play music together too, just on a casual kind of basis, which is really fun.
nice.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little cheesy, but I don't care.
No, no, and you're not the only person to say that marrying their husband was the best decision that they ever made in response to that question. There are 2 other rock goddesses that said the same thing. So, love is real.
Well, yeah, it is.
What you said definitely made me think of um a Lithuanian I once dated who did not think everything I made was great.
Well, that's
But
sad.
I'm Slavic, he's Slavic, and so it was actually like a part of um our humor. It was
Yeah,
like culturally it made sense. It was like how it was yeah, but I don't want to talk about that. Anyway, so
it's okay. Well, it's nice to like it's good to have constructive criticism and to have critique and to have like educated and thoughtful dialogue about what you're doing, whether it's from a friend or a lover or a spouse or like it's always good. And I actually the people closest to me and the people that I want near me during my like album making process or album writing process or whatever it is are the people that are going to give it to me straight and give
mm,
me constructive and kind and thoughtful feedback and also just love it because they love me.
yeah.
Like that feels good and you need to feel good when you're
Oh,
doing
totally.
something that vulnerable.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um it for that particular person, it was like a little bit of comedy, a little bit of like tough love. But then when I would like get like a, did you do this one? Then it was like, okay, well, that feels really good too. So it's
Yeah.
important to get those. It can't be all tough love. Uh,
Yeah.
do also what's that crafty business going on behind you there?
Oh, that's my jewelry bench.
Ooh.
I guess you can kind of see it. I I've been interested since I was very young, like high school, and like metalsmithing, making metal jewelry. Just found my lizard scales flying off me. Okay. Um, so I finally set up a home bench.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yay.
it's
It's
fun.
wonderful. It's wonderful to see it there. Just another multi-talented rock goddess doing the things.
It keeps me sane.
Yeah. It's like, I've had like a couple guests where I was like, what like do you do outside of music to like express yourself and relax, like something that isn't about like what you're going to be producing at the end, just something a little
Yeah,
bit playful. And so everybody does need like actually multiple outlets. So
yeah.
uh,
You got a runaway bird now.
it's just getting a little stuck. So what is your favorite piece of gear or stageware?
So actually, I feel like if I tilt this, you can see it. I've got my orange Rock River 50 back there. I
Ooh.
love it. Like I, for a while, I just would show up and play whatever amp venue had at the venue, and was very grateful that they let me use it. But I just kind of settled, and we're a three piece. Like, we need to be loud. I need to be able to hear myself, and it needs to be like somewhat disturbing. Like it's just got to be really, really loud for the type of music we're playing, because that's what I want. And again, we're a three piece. So that thing is super trusty. It's super loud. I When I bring it into a venue, people are like, oh, like, oh, okay. I guess I'm not gonna have to mic the amp. I guess that's what we're working with. My bandmates have been very, very, very generous with carrying it for me, because
Oh, how nice.
I think the cab weighs more than I do. The amp head is like maybe 50 pounds, but the cab is really, really heavy. Actually, my bandmate and I one time accidentally smashed out my rear windshield because we like put the amp vertical, and I drove like a block, and it just rocked and smashed the glass out of my car.
Oh
It
no.
sucked, but I was also just like laughing so much. It was funny. But
Yeah,
yeah, that thing is trusty. That thing is loud. That thing is heavy. It will break your car if you're not careful.
it will break
Um,
your car. Yeah.
yeah, I'm impressed with it. Great. It's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, you can prepare it with the amp and the jewelry table. We got everything and the
Yeah, this
track.
is like my office. Well, I do. I work from here a lot. There's also a computer over here.
This is this is my office as well.
Yep,
Um,
that's where it happens.
chaos. Beautiful, sparkly chaos. What is a performance memory that you will never forget?
Um, Well, this is just kind of silly, a little embarrassing. I don't know why I would pick this, but it just still makes me laugh to this day. So, um, I don't know how many years ago now, but it was a good number of years ago. We were being Black Sabbath at a cover show. We were playing with Castle Rat. It was, oh my God, I don't remember what year it was, but was so excited. Like, it was my first time covering Black Sabbath for Halloween, like dream come true, like really worked hard at it, like really practiced, was so excited. And then I had this one day where I just like got it in my head that I could not like be beautiful unless I owned cheek highlighter. So I was like, I have to go to Sephora. I have to buy cheek highlighter. This is what I'm like missing. Like, this is just gonna make me feel so amazing. And I just like beelined it for Sephora. I go to like buy this product, which I have not touched. I used it once. Like, and there was this drawer coming out, and I like went to go like catch the drawer because I thought it was falling, and I jammed my shoulder so bad. Like I was in so much pain. I think that night I had work. I was working the front desk at a yoga studio, and someone had a cover for me while I went to urgent care. So I was like, this thing is dislocated. Like I'm done.
Oh my god.
Um, and I go to the doctor. I was like, sir, like tomorrow night I have to be Ozzy Osbourne for Halloween. Like I have to get my arms over my head. Like, am I going to like injure my shoulder for the rest of my life beyond repair if I lift my arms up tomorrow night? And he's like, you're fine. Like, chill. So I'm like, okay. So the next night, like, can't get my arm over my head. I'm like, how, like, I can't be a one armed Ozzy. Like, that's just not going to work. And like every video, his arms are up. So I'm like, shit. So I just like took a couple of shots of whiskey. I got ice from the bartender. I just iced it, iced it, iced it. And then I got on stage and like every picture, I'm like, yeah. Like out of nowhere, my arm just got above my head. And then the next day I couldn't move it again. And I was back to square one. But I was like, it must have been adrenaline and whiskey and ice because I pulled through.
All right. This
It's
had
just
a happy ending.
yeah, it's just a funny story, but like I'll never forget it because I just it makes me laugh. Like that doctor looked at me like I was nuts. I was like, sir, if I'm Aussie tomorrow night, am I going to end up with an unusable shoulder for the rest of my
Oh my
life?
god. And you were like, "'Cause I'm ready to risk it all."
Yeah, I was. And I did. But no, it was funny. But
Well,
yeah, that was just silly.
that's a win in hand. Uh,
Yeah.
do you have any new announcements?
Um, I guess just that we're planning to play at the end of June. I mean, we released a new record in October, which isn't that long ago. Yeah, so just trying to get that record out, mostly just to anyone who wants to listen. Like I've been kind of driving around, or in my travels in the last few months, I've just been packing a couple records in my suitcase and stopping at a local record store and just bringing them in. Like I had to go to Chicago for work. I brought some in Chicago, drove to Chattanooga a few weekends ago, brought some there, just kind of like place them in people's hands. Because that record is new, it is fresh, and we had so much fun recording it. I just want people to give it a listen and go from there. So yeah, I think really the only like future thing to report is hopefully going on a couple day run at the end of June.
Yes. I was listening to your new record earlier and the song part 3 of Fearing Loathing. I thought that um you switch into the soprano voice and it's like a soprano in a doom song, so it almost has like a cool symphonic metal element to it and it's really different and innovative. And so I think that people should check out that song. And also your band name has a pretty cool history or story
Yeah.
behind it with the Dune and everything. And I
Mhm.
was wondering, 'cause I can remember finding my mom's hardcover 1970s copy of Dune in the attic, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I read it. Tell us the story of when you discovered Dune, since it's obviously had an effect on you.
Sure. I think I read that back in like I'm so bad at remembering years. It might have been like 2017, 20, yeah, I think 2017 or so. Maybe it's 2018, one of those. Um, and I was renaming the band because basically our band used to be called Priestess. I found out that there were other bands with that name and that I couldn't trademark the name if I wanted, and it just wasn't super clean. So I decided to rename the band, trademark it, or get something that pick a name that I could trademark, and I did. And I was reading Dune at the time, and I was just so. I mean, it's like 800 pages. Like that is not a short book, and I just remember liking it so much and being so impressed with what a social commentary it is.
Hmm.
Like it's obviously, I, maybe some people would disagree with me, but like the premier sci-fi novel, it's a wonderful sci-fi novel, but I just found that the entire thing was like an analogy for social issues, religious history, a lot more than the book is actually about. And I thought that the Reverend mothers were just terrific. They seemed to have uh, foresight that nobody else had, and to see the ways in which people were going to kind of doom themselves before it happened, and seemed to have the social and religious awareness that everyone else lacked. Um, so I thought that was really cool, and I was like, you know what, that we'll name our band that.
Nice. Classic name, and always great to reference some sci-fi when like working in themes of metal.
Yeah,
Um, was there any particular part of the book? Well, I guess that you just said it was like every part with the Reverend Mothers. For
yeah,
me, it was, I don't know why this was the part that's I thought always thought was the most interesting part of Dune, but when um when they're moving across the drum sand and they have to change their footsteps. And honestly, I will not see these Dune movies. I don't like to see my favorite books made into movies.
yeah.
I don't know what they did for that, but I know that in the book, it was so much tension. It was so fun to read that scene, and like it I think like it made me sweaty to read it because it was,
I'm sure.
yeah, and so I don't know, that was always like one of my favorite things about it. Yeah.
Well,
So,
it's really cool. It's like walking is something so natural, and like when you think of problems that people have and all the things that people do to fix them, like inventing things or taking medicine or like whatever, all these things we do to like fix a problem we have, sometimes it might just be as simple as changing your footsteps.
mm,
Like,
there was something else about like the solitude of them being out on the drum sand. They're already on the run. And then like this thing that's like just as the sandworm, just as threatening as like the forces trying to stop them. It was just like a lot of pressure on the characters. And like
yeah,
it was just like it's gonna be a sudden death if they fuck this.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I
It's wonderfully written. It's such a good book.
totally. So how do people listen to your music? How do they follow what you do?
Um, well, I think we're on most streaming platforms. I know we're on Spotify, I know we're on Apple Music, we're on Bandcamp. Our record's available for purchase through Nudie Records, which also easy way to find the bands I was talking about earlier. Old Lady and Ma'am are both on Nudie Records, and Keely Rocker has a solo album on Nudie Records, so they're all there too. So yeah, I think just all the streaming platforms are record, and our first record is available via Seeing Red Records. So both of those are available for purchase. Two different labels, and I know they both have copies still. And then we've got a band Instagram. It was mostly taken over by Terry, my lizard, for a while. But I'm
Is
trying to make it about us again. But he's just so cute.
you say that, but then like in the interview, like first person to be introduced is Terry.
Yeah, Harry, he's just I mean, he ran away. Your parrot seems to remain interested. He just gotta go. He doesn't like to stand still. He just gotta be on the run, which I get. But
Yeah, my parrot
yeah,
is like a straight up like tumor. Like
yeah.
I can't get rid of him. So,
Yeah.
um, he's here. Um, yeah,
Cute.
the next Bandcamp Friday is Friday, April 5th for all the people that want to support directly. Buy on Bandcamp.
Please do.
Yes. Okay, and now it's time for our little closing game.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna hold up two pieces of vinyl, and you tell me which one you want to pick. And if you know some fun facts about the band or you have a question about a band, just say so. LA
Okay.
Witch or Sweat.
Swap.
This just came in the mail today, so I'm super excited about it. It's the clear red vinyl. And you're actually
Yeah.
getting like sandwiched right in between Sue and Kayla from Sweat. Sue was the last interview I think I released, and then
Yeah, we actually played with them in January of 2020, which interesting time to be, out playing, like, a little run because the world shut down 2 months later, we're like, "Well, we actually have to play shows in 2020." But we played with them in Pittsburgh, so
oh, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like I'm due for a Pittsburgh trip. So,
Pittsburgh's
Coven
fun.
or Share?
Oh, wow, Coven.
Coven. Why do you pick Coven?
Um, I'm definitely more of a heavy music person than not. I know it's not the best answer. Also, I feel like there's a lot of people that, like, Cher is, like, part of their, like, growing up, and they've got, like, a nostalgia, and I don't think either of my parents were super into Cher, so
Oh yeah. I remember my mom saying that she thought that Cher was like really beautiful and in a different way, that it was like nice to see somebody that didn't like fit the Hollywood mold and was
Yeah,
still like respected as beautiful. But my mom like never listened to any of her music with me around anyway. But yeah, this
yeah.
album though, this album has Dark Lady on it, which is actually probably Cher's heaviest song. So
Well, there you
oh, it would be great to hear somebody cover that
go.
song. Oh yeah, you did a cover of "Toxic" by Britney Spears.
Oh, that was fun. I don't know. That was, like, one of the most fun songs that I've ever recorded. 'Cause we knew we wanted to put, a cover on the first record, and I was sitting there and I was, like, playing Black Sabbath songs. I was playing all these, like, whatever, and I was like, I don't think I could do a version of a Black Sabbath song that doesn't just sound like the original, because that is the song, and it's so ingrained, like, that's
Mm.
just the song, like, I can't change it, I don't wanna change it, like, people have, like, I picked up a paper clip, excuse me. Um, but then I was, like, sitting there, I was, like, thinking, I was like, "What if we do Lana Del Rey?" Or, like, "What if we do Britney
Mm.
Spears?" And I listened to Toxic, and 2 seconds later, just, like, wrote the cover, and I was like, "That's it."
Yeah, I would, if I had like control of the universe, I would want to hear you cover "Dark Lady" by Cher, and I would want to hear Lana Del Rey covered by Soul Grinder.
Cool. I love Lana Del Rey. She is one of my very favorite musicians. I love her so much.
Nice, nice. Okay, Hook or Kate Bush?
Wait, what was the first one?
Hoaxed. They are
Okay.
a young band, young and well, younger than Kate Bush, obviously, but
Well, that's cool. I don't Yeah, tell me more about Hopes.
so contemporaries. Um, they're doing it now. Hoaxed. Oh my god, best drum production that anybody's doing right now. Like the recording and the mixing on the drums are amazing. Um, and they the drummer has a relationship to this other band, but it's a boy band, so I can't remember its name. Even though they're nice guys, I just can't remember boy band names.
Do
Um,
you happen to know where they record?
I'm thinking it's in Portland. It's a
Okay.
guy in Portland. Yeah. But you know what? I'll just stick you in a chat with them after this and you guys can figure it out. I had the bassist from Hoax who is also in Soul Grinder.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, she was on the channel. So I asked her who did the drum production, and she's like, can't think
Yeah.
of his name. So it's still a mystery, but we'll find him.
Well,
Yeah, and they're doomy. You're gonna like them. Check them out. You will like
oh,
this band.
wow.
Doomy, slow, very magical, really great use of bells to create atmosphere, for
I
example.
love that. We put,
Yeah.
church well, in our song called Bells, we had Matt who recorded our album, Matt and Davis, in Memphis, which is why it's called Seven Nights in Memphis. I don't even know that I have to say that, but Matt recorded some church bells for us because the song is about church bells. bells.
Mhm.
And I was really happy with the church bell that he found. I was like,
Yeah,
yes. Church bell.
I think you should try to set up a show with Hoaxed.
Yeah.
Uh, Stevie Nicks or Janis Joplin?
Oh, Janis Joplin. I love Janis Joplin so much.
Tell us why you love Janis Joplin so much.
Um, she has a voice that sounds like it's too good for this earth. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like she is, or she was rather, like some sort of, I don't know, above us mere mortals kind of person and musician. And it seems, I mean, from what there is about her that I've read or learned, it seems like she was a good person and that, all that really came from the heart, which you can hear in her music. But like, I don't know where you get a voice like that. Certainly not average.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone do a good karaoke cover,
No,
imitation of Janis
you
Joplin.
can't.
Yeah, nobody, and I think that's like part of, like, even her contemporaries, like Shocking Blue and Jefferson Airplane, and like she's obviously very influenced by female black singers who were her contemporaries, but
Mhm.
she didn't sound like anybody else.
No, that's what
No.
makes somebody immortal too. Like she may have been dead for a very long time, and um, but she's essentially immortalized by her voice and like, more than her voice. Like I think, the person she was came through her music making and her songs and stuff like that. But yeah, there's just like, and that's what I think is wonderful. I think when somebody is just so unique, whether it's like, I don't know, some people have a really unique stage presence, some people have a really, really unique voice, some people have a really unique range, some people have really unique songwriting. Like whatever it is, there's always been those people that have kind of stuck out over time. And she's like, whew, one of them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Ah, I wish that she lived longer and recorded more music. Um,
Yeah. But
maybe,
that also I feel like is part of like what we all like, how do I explain this? I feel like that is kind of what like part of that's how special she was, is that we're like limited. It's that we're always gonna be left wanting more, you know?
yes. I think that she could have given us a lot of music and we still would have wished for more.
That's true.
Make art, not drugs, or do music,
Dude,
not kids. Whatever. Just don't do heroin. That's gross.
yeah, just
So,
don't die.
yeah. Tina or Diane Davidson?
I'm not even sure I know who Diane Davidson is, but that looks like a most beautiful album cover, so tell me.
Let's talk about it because it's my most played vinyl.
Oh, really? It
Yeah.
looks beautiful. It looks like something I'd wanna put on.
Oh my God. This is the music that you listen to when you're falling in love on a beach with a bottle of wine. And yeah, and like it's like a doomed romance, and you're all the way in, and you're just like drowning in the feelings. That's what this is, especially side B. Side A, the opening track is really good. The album's Mountain Mama.
Yeah, I like that
Mountain
name.
Mama on side A is a really good song, but side B, she does a cover of Carrie by Joni Mitchell that is so much better than the Joni Mitchell one. And I like Joni Mitchell.
Yeah,
I would say Diane Davidson does like a heavier Appalachian cover of this Joni Mitchell song. So it's
that sounds good.
yeah.
The
And
album cover, like, really sells it to me too.
yeah, and she's more of an alto. She's just like a smooth and powerful alto with like not like a country voice, but definitely like an Appalachian twang. And and then yeah, and then side B is really good until the last song where some guy gets on the fucking album and he's got to go jizzing all over the last song. And it's like, shut up, dude. Like, Diane Davidson sounds so much better than you. Why are you here? So, anyway, I love that album. I just
Well, I'll
stopped the
check it
album
out.
before he starts singing. But yeah, so, because otherwise it messes up my vibe because I only want to hear fronted music. I don't want men to sing to me. Um, so yeah, so that's it. So that's the whole thing. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. Sorry Terry took off.
That's okay. He's
Go.
got other very important dragon business.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We'll keep in touch. I want to catch one of your shows and definitely would go down south to see one.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I'll let you know how that the couple dates in June turns out.
All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much.